Dear parents and carers and students, I'd just like to take a few minutes to first of all welcome you back to City Academy Norwich, and hopefully in a few days we will have all of our students back with us full time. But before we do, I thought it was really important to send you this video to explain some of the measures that we've put in place and give you some guidance as to what that looks like over the course of the next few days. So without further ado, I'm going to go through a small presentation which should hopefully outline some of that guidance to you and some of the questions that you've put to us over the last week. So, as I've just said, here is some of the key messages then and updates for September reopening for City Academy Norwich. Obviously, the first thing to say is there has been lots and lots of challenges that have presented ourselves as a school and indeed many other schools over the course of the last 6 months, but obviously yourselves and your young people as well. And those challenges ahead are going to be very similar. The fact that COVID-19 has brought these things upon us, we need to be mindful that it hasn't gone away. And until we find a vaccine, or until the government finds a vaccine and the people that are working alongside the government across the whole of the world, really, we need to be mindful of how to keep each other safe. So all the things I'm about to say are to do exactly that, to keep ourselves safe. And it's a bit like unraveling that really difficult ball of string or yarn when you're thinking about the logistics, the measures that have to be put in place to make sure that we don't have anyone who's going to have a positive outcome for COVID-19. We want everyone to be safe and remain well whilst they're within City Academy Norwich. The obvious thing to start off with then, to make sure that we are keeping ourselves safe, is that aspect of social distancing. We know as a group of people in the UK living and breathing this experience that social distancing has been put in place by the government, and it's going to be exactly the same in school. So to start off, our social distancing measures, they begin outside the building. And as you can see, your arrival to school will look like this. There is a queue system in place for all of our young people arriving to school. Each year group has got a separate queue, and you'll be asked to wait in that queue when you arrive until your specific time when you are allowed to come into school. And I'll talk more about those times in just a second. If you're a visitor to the academy or a parent, if you don't need to come into school for any specific reason, we're asking people not to come into school, but there is a separate visitor entrance where visitors will be asked to wash their hands and enter the main entrance, as you can see from the picture on the left hand side. We have arrivals to the academy for all year groups at specific times. This is to keep everybody safe and ensure that people are able to socially distance. So as you can see from my diagram on the screen, Year 7 are the first to arrive. It is a 10-minute time slot for each year group. So Year 7 have to arrive to the academy at 8:20, and then they have 10 minutes to arrive between 8:20 and 8:30. They then go into school for the rest of their whole day. They're not in school for just a short period of time of 10 minutes. They are in school for the whole day, but they arrive during that time. The subsequent year groups arrive, as it says on the diagram there, for each group. The last group to arrive is Year 11 between 9 and 10 past 9. They go straight into our period 1 day, and I'll talk more about the structure of lessons in just a second. All of this information has been sent out to you on a letter, but this video is just being put together to help you understand it. You will have heard from the most recent updates from government issued just before the bank holiday that face masks have now been described as being an important factor to keeping people safe in school, in especially lockdown circumstances. Now, as an academy, we are not in a lockdown circumstance, and we hope never to be there. But we want to take every precaution to ensure that our young people are safe, as well as our staff and our visitors. So we are asking for all our young people, staff and visitors to wear face masks or face coverings in the following ways. Face masks or face coverings must be worn by students and staff on the arrival and exit to and from the academy. During all lesson transitions to the academy, face masks or face coverings should be worn, not in lessons. Face masks should also be worn or face coverings during communal social times, for example, during lunch or break, by students and staff and visitors that are on duty. Until further communication or an additional guidance is given by government, face masks or coverings will be worn in this way. And we would ask that parents and carers please make sure that young people do not have face masks that are inappropriate or that contain images or words that are inappropriate on them. In terms of the emergency COVID timetable, we have had to make some changes to the school day to ensure, as we've said before, that everyone is safe. This is to adhere to the DEV guidance for September and ensure that all students can be taught in zones and move about the academy in an independent way that keeps them safe, as I've said just a minute ago, wearing appropriate face coverings. The first place that this will happen is at break and lunch. Each year group will have a separate break and lunch. The canteen will not be providing hot food, and if your child receives a free school meal, then they will be provided with a cold packed lunch. This will consist of sandwiches or a sandwich, cake, a biscuit and/or fruit and a drink. Drinks in school should only be water. Your child will be provided with a water bottle on behalf of the academy, which we'll be giving to each year group when they start on their first day. But we would ask, please, that no fizzy energy drinks or juice is brought into school. This avoids any spillages or things that might be inappropriate and therefore additional cleaning needing to be done. We will have our drinks fountains operational, but only drinks bottles we'll be able to use around those fountains and no direct contact with people's faces. The other clear measures that we're expecting young people and staff and visitors to put in place are our bubbles. We're not mixing year groups at any social time and any classroom time. Social distancing will be in place up to 1 metre plus or 2 metres where possible, and all young people will be expected to bring their own equipment. However, the school will be providing equipment on the first day of a pencil case with a pen, pencil, ruler and rubber, which young people should keep safe and bring in each day for themselves. In terms of our lesson transitions and moving to and from lessons, we ask the following 3 things to happen so that we have successful transitions and safe transitions in between lessons. Our school bell sounds like the following. This school bell signifies when lessons start and end. The step 1 is that all your young people, all the children and staff within the school should then put on their face masks when travelling to their lessons. Step 2, they should ensure that social distancing is in place when leaving lessons and moving about the academy. This is 1 metre plus or 2 metres where possible. Step 3, all of our young people and staff should ensure that they walk on the left-hand side of our one-way system around the entire academy. This is clearly marked by arrows and lines on the corridor floors. As I've already said, the arrival to the school is different to normal and starts at 8:20 for Year 7. If any young person is late to school, they will be asked to continue to queue until an appropriate time, which avoids the mixing with another year group, and then they will be asked to come into school. Because we cannot guarantee the weather, it is important that students benefit from arriving early and not late so they can come straight into school. We will not be providing breakfast clubs, and all young people will go straight to their tutor time rooms. The other parts of the timetable look as follows. This has gone out in a letter to all parents for each year group. Mondays, there is a slightly different day, as well as Thursdays compared to Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Fridays. For any further information regarding the timetable and start and leave times, please make sure that you do look through the school website with the link that I will be showing you at the end of this presentation. There is a update to our Behaviour for Learning policy in terms of COVID and the importance of ensuring that social distancing is met. Our expectations do not change. We still have high expectations for learning in the school and expect all young people to meet those. So, no mobile phones is still part of our school policy. We don't expect to hear or see those phones in school, and we expect people to be kind, polite, courteous, and respectful to all staff members and all other students. Our consequence system is slightly different. We will not be running a points system where students get a point or more than 1 point for their behaviour. We will be presenting a consequence system that looks like the following. This means that there is slightly less opportunity to be presenting poor behaviour in class, but also it means that detentions are slightly different. You will notice if a young person is misbehaving in the C3 or C4 consequence, then they will receive a longer detention of 40 minutes. 20 minutes is given for a young person who has a C3. Any repeated behaviour beyond this C4 will result in a further higher level sanction. As you can see, further sanctions will be given for non-compliance or serious disruption to learning. A C5, which is a failure in our partner classroom at C3 level, could mean that that young person goes to a possible C6 or further discussion with yourself as a parent or carer and a senior member of staff in terms of an exclusion. If this is not the case, then they would simply have a 40-minute detention, and we would expect them not to repeat this level of behaviour. This again is to keep everybody safe during these COVID times. So just to recap, the start of term for each year group is as follows. Year 7 are expected to attend school on the 7th and 8th of September, arriving at 8:20. Year 11 are expected to attend school on the 8th of September, arriving at 9 o'clock. Year 8 are expected to attend school for the first day on the 9th of September at 8:30. Year 9 are expected to attend school for the first day on the 10th of September at 8:40, and Year 10 on the 11th of September at 8:50. All year groups will then return in full from the 14th of September and should arrive on their staggered time slots as I have described. All this information is available on our website as per the link at the bottom, City Academy Norwich, and then it's under the parent section and parent letters. There is a letter outlined there for every year group, clearly identified for reopening of school September 2020. I hope all of this information has been useful and you have now clarity around some of those key things. Please keep smiling and stay safe. We look forward to seeing you soon in your designated day of arrival and getting everybody back into school learning for September. Take care, stay alert, control the virus, and of course, continuing to save lives.